Hello, welcome to episode 3 of the Mardeana Knits podcast. My name is Kirsten, and if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for finding me. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm happy to have you here. We are here to just catch up on some knitting, yarny goodness going on in my life. And I'm very excited to show some of the progress that I've made. So let's see if we can dive right in. But first, grab yourself something delicious to drink. Today I am drinking, it's like a cranberry hot apple cider, but yeah, that's what I'm drinking. I love apple cider. I know a lot of people tend to think it's more of a fall drink, and I know that it's February now, but I always like apple cider year round. I don't care. Let's get into some finished objects. So the first one is actually a big one, and I'm very excited for. You would have seen it in the last episode. It was a whip, but now it's a finished object, and I am wearing it. This is the Riverbank Cropped Pullover by Olive Knits, and it's from it's the book. I cannot find the book. I don't know where it's like I finished the project and I just like cast the book aside and it's just like disappeared. But yes, this is the Riverbank Cropped Pullover, and I absolutely love it. This was knit with Flirt Sirdar double knitting yarn. There it is. And this one was 80% bamboo sourced viscose with 20% wool. And if you've watched my last couple episodes, I was playing a bit of yarn chicken, so I'll show you the entire thing. So here it is. I like the way it fits. I did shorten the sleeves. The sleeves are supposed to come down to around here, like below the elbow, but I decided to end it up here so it's like right in the crook of my arm, and I'm actually really happy that I did that. I like the fit of it, and I honestly, when I'm wearing like a sleeve that ends up here, I wind up pushing it up anyways, so this way I'm not gonna have to do that. It's just where I already like it. The cabling on it, this was the first time I followed a chart for cabling. It was really simple and easy to follow, and I really like the way that it turned out. I'll be honest, I made one mistake. So if you look here, see, that's the mistake right there. This one of them should be going, like one of them is reversed. So, but if you're not a knitter and you saw me that just out in public wearing this, nobody would know, right? Like I asked my husband, it's like, is it really noticeable? And he's like, no, don't worry about it. Like you're done, you're good to go. So now I'm wearing it. I'm quite happy with it. It is so soft. It is so drapey. Like when I washed it, it has like, it just like the way it like shakes when you're like folding it or whatever, like it's so buttery soft, and I love it. It has a bit of a sheen to it. The stitch definition is excellent on this yarn, and I would recommend this pattern for anybody who wants to venture into doing cabling. It is a raglan style, so also if you've never done a raglan, this is great for that. I do like the detail on it. You can kind of see, like it's quite a nice raglan. So I had actually started this last summer, and I had gotten down to almost the sleeve separation. And I had cast this on while I was out camping with my family, and I think maybe that day or those couple of days, I did actually have maybe a couple too many adult beverages because my count was way off, and so I frogged the whole thing, started from scratch again. I'm so glad that I did, because the finished object is exactly what I was looking for. And yeah, so that's the story of that. But yeah, back to the yarn chicken. This is how much yarn I have left. Like it's really not that much. Maybe I don't know what I'll do with this. Maybe I'll make a yarn cozy. I really do need more yarn cozies. The pattern by Nitty Natty she has like 3 different sizes, going from like a 25 gram to 100 gram cozy sized, like for 100 gram skein sized ball. So yeah, I'll probably maybe make some nice cozies out of that. And then here is a little tiny ball that I made. I'll talk about what I do with this in 1 second. 1 second. I do something with those. So yeah, that is my crop pullover. I'm so happy it's done. Last episode I had said I wanted it to be done for Valentine's Day so that maybe I could wear it out on a date, or even to the office. I'll be working in the office on Tuesday, so I'm so happy that it's done for Valentine's Day because I think it's the perfect Valentine's Day color. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm very excited for it. My next finished object, right beside me here, these were some socks, or are some socks that I made for my husband. So they are the vanilla sock pattern on 9-inch circular by the Crazy Sock Lady. It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. And the yarn that I used, it's a Crazy Zobber Ball. Let me find it. Yeah, Crazy Zobber Ball by Chopel, and the colorway Domino. And what is it? I know it's a superwash, but it's not in it. Yeah, 75% strong quality superwash and 25% virgin wool. So yeah, it definitely keeps his feet nice and toasty. He loves them. He's worn them a few times now, and he absolutely loves them. So yes, and this is how much yarn I have left from that Zobber Ball. So when you squish it down, you know, it's quite a bit, but so maybe another yarn cozy, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep it for heels, cuffs, and toes. But let's talk about the yarn. I really did like the yarn. It felt nice working my hands. I loved watching it transition between the different shades. So if you look at the yarn, there's 2 plies on all of them, right? So you get that marled look. And one of the plies will fade while the other one stays. And that's how you get this really interesting look. However, this one, it was kind of annoying that right here you can see it, because I was knitting from cuff down. It's like the white ply of that yarn. I don't know if it got snapped during the processing or something. But the white snapped, and then they replaced it with like a gray, like a completely different color. Like that's what they joined while they were creating this ball. So you don't have that smooth transition here. It goes straight from white, this whitish color, to this gray. And it's not a big deal. It doesn't affect the functionality of the sock. But when it came to like the way that it was fading, that definitely did affect it, and it did annoy me. And to be this far in, and for that to happen, I wasn't entirely pleased. But I really did like the yarn. I know that it's a kind of like a dupe for one of the higher end yarns that does the same kind of fading, and it's a great price for that, and the quality of the yarn and everything is great. Just be mindful that this might be somewhere within that ball, and if you're anything like me, it might annoy you, it might not. So yeah, but those are, yes, my husband's socks. Okay, so the next finished object, it was actually, I'm thirsty, I'm gonna have a sip. 2 sips. This next object actually is a gift. My sister-in-law just recently accepted a new job. She's working outdoors. It is starting to warm up here in Canada right now. Like today, I think we're nearing almost 10 degrees outside. So yeah, I will show you. I'll take off my glasses, just 1 second. So I made her a cowl. I'm gonna put it on. Okay, back on the glasses. So it's really nice. It was called, what is it called? The Valin Cowl by Marlene Berghout. Berghot. It was a free pattern on Ravelry. It is a brioche knit, so it's super squishy. She has a large head like I do, so I know that this will fit her, but it's just big enough to be here because she'll be wearing like fire rated equipment or fire rated clothing and overalls and everything with this new position that she's in. So I just wanted to give her something that she could wear on her neck to keep it warm. And then you could also do this with it. And then keep your ears warm, and then still be able to wear a hard hat on top too. So I'm actually really excited to give this to her. So I'm glad that I'm able to talk today because maybe I'll get to see her sometime this week and I can hand it off to her. But yes, I'm very excited for this. Fix my hair. So let's talk a little bit more about it. So like I said, it is brioche. If this yarn looks familiar at all to you, you would have seen it in episode 1. I was wearing the cardigan number 7 by My Favorite Things knitwear that I had made. This was leftover yarn from that. I wanted to make something from stash, and I had 2 balls of this. It's the Opus by Walcott Yarns, and it's 70% Argentinian merino, 30% baby alpaca, and 100% awesome. And I would agree. It's so squishy, so soft, so I was glad to get one of these skeins out of my stash, and I was able to use it as a beautiful gift. So in the pattern, I'll hold it like this so it's easier. In the pattern, you basically do 1 inch of one color brioche, and then you do 2 color brioche, and then for the last inch, you're supposed to go back to 1 color, and then you do the garter stitch edging on both sides. Is the garter stitch. I didn't have a second color to do the 2 color brioche because I was working from stash, so I just did 1 color brioche the whole way through. There were no problems with that, and I just kept on going until I thought I was about to the point where I would have just enough to do the garter stitch and the cast off. The cast on, I just used a regular long tail cast on, and then for the cast off I just did a regular like knitted cast off, so where you knit 2 and then you pass the first one over and then knit another one, pass over, you know, regular style knitting. So yes, I'm very excited for that. It is so squishy. I have already washed this. I wash all my garments using Eucalyptus wash, and I really like the lavender one. I'm obsessed with the scent of lavender. I always have been. So yes, that is a gift for her. I'm very excited to give it to her. I would give this pattern a 10 out of 10, especially since it was free. You can't go wrong with free, right? So there we go. The next finished object actually is from a very long time ago. I want to say I finished it before my kid was born, so maybe 12, 13, 14 years ago, but he is special. Okay, that's a clue. He is special. My husband loves him. He was a request from my husband, and it was from back in my Amigurumi phase. So here he is. Oh, he's losing a boot. There we go. It is Link from Zelda. And if you thought to call him Zelda from Zelda, you're wrong. Zelda is the princess. This is Link. So this is him. He is Amigurumi. His hat comes off. He has this little shield, and it also comes off. And that I actually had to embroider on top of the crochet to get the Hyrulean shield design. This is his little teeny tiny sword, and on the back there's actually like a sheath that actually holds onto it. The stick itself was just a chopstick that I chopped off and then kind of like I whittled it to make it look like a sword shape. But yeah, that is him. So let's give him his sword so he can be ready to defend. He's ready to go, because you never know. He might need to go on a mission. So yes, I'll put him back there. That is my Link, and he is just the cutest. My husband at one point actually thought that he had lost him somewhere, and he was quite upset about that. He really did not want to be losing something like that. I'm gonna actually talk about what I do with these teeny tiny little balls that I create. So here's the one that I made from this. I made this one. This is literally everything I had left from that skein that I made for the cowl that I was just talking about. This is literally everything I have left. And I know a lot of people like to keep something in memory of all the projects that they make. So I recently, which is why it's not super duper full, I got this really cute little cookie jar. And each time I make a new project, I make a little tiny ball of it, and this might actually come in useful. Like maybe I'll need them for mending one day or something, so I have them. So I just take those little balls, put them in the cookie jar. There's like all the little projects that I've done within the last like few months here. And yeah, I've even gone back actually and did like one for like the cardigan that I was talking about. This is like another cardigan that I had made for myself for my birthday last year. This was from the sock head hat that I made. So yeah, I have all these little goodies in there for past projects that I have made, and my goal is to fill this up. So yeah, but also it just looks really cute sitting up on my shelf. So that is what I do with those little teeny tiny yarn balls that I make. Now, let's start talking about some works in progress. I don't know about you. When I watch other people's podcasts, I do enjoy watching the finished objects, but what really gets me excited is to see the progress people are making on things. So I hope you feel the same way. I hope that you're excited to see some of the things that I have been working on. So first, I guess we'll do a couple of the easy ones. The first one I want to talk about is a pair of socks that I'm making. The yarn, here it is by Over the Moon Yarn, and this is in the colorway Beaches of Europa, and it's on their Electron sock base, which is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. It's fingering weight, and 100 grams gets you about 400 meters or 437 yards. So pretty standard for a fingering weight sock yarn. But here it is, caked up. Isn't that crazy? I absolutely love this yarn. I bought this when I was at the Fiber Frolic, and it's a lot of fun, and I was just on a mission to get self-striping yarn. I don't know why I brought out my sock thing. I'm not going to be able to put it on. I am doing this, so it is self-striping, and I am doing the Magic Heel sock. I can't remember who the designer is, but yes, I'm doing the Magic Heel sock. I got it off of Ravelry. I believe it is a paid for pattern, but it's really easy. I just wanted to try something different than the basic vanilla or some of the other like patterned ones that I've been kind of working on, but I haven't really been talking about them because I haven't made a lot of progress. But I wanted to just try something a little bit different, see how this heel feels on my foot. And then also my kid has expressed an interest in having some socks made for themselves. And I've heard that this is a great pattern for children, because as they're growing, the magic heel kind of goes with them to a certain extent. So that's why I wanted to give this a shot. So yes, let's take a closer look at the yarn. I really enjoy how the pink and the black are like thick stripes, but then the neon yellow and this like dark tealy color are thin. I think it just adds a little bit of interest to it, and I am very excited to have these. So those are my neon socks, Magic Heel. Yes. And I'm just keeping it in one of these little sacks. Got it from Michael's. So yes, the next one is, you guys have seen it before. I have one finished one. So I'll just quickly put it on there. There we go. Okay. These are the Totally Rad Ribbed Socks by Summer Lee Design Co. And I am still working on the second sock, but I have definitely made some progress. I am almost done the ribbing, and we'll be working on to the heel flap and gusset soon. So very excited for that. I've done this top here. It's supposed to be a folded hem, so it'll fold in and then get sewn down. So then the top has like a nice thick cuff. But yes, I do enjoy doing these socks. Ribbing isn't always my favorite thing, but I just like the final look of these and that texture that it gives. And it just has like a bit of a retro feel to it, which I really enjoy. Here it is. The yarn, the purple, is To The Max Yarn Co. It's fingering weight, superwash, 80% superwash, 20% nylon. And then the silver color is literally called Silver, and it's by Alegria Manos del Uruguay, which is 75% merino superwash and 25% polyamide. So these are going to be some really warm, really cozy socks that I'm going to really enjoy wearing on my feet. I need to get more knitted socks into my wardrobe, so it's kind of become a bit of an obsession for me. Sock knitting has kind of taken over my purse. Everywhere I go, socks go. So yes, so this is also in another one of those sacks. This actually is the exact same sack, it's just they're reversible. So I don't know if they still sell them at Michael's, but they were like $10. It's a great deal. I like them because I can wear it on my wrist, and then I can take the project and like the yarn can just be like feeding out here, and I can literally walk and knit. Or if I'm at the movies, I can have it here and I'm not going to worry about my ball of yarn like rolling away from me. And then I still have my hands free. I can still, you know, grab my soda and have a sip, or I can still eat popcorn or do whatever it is that I need to do with that hand. So yeah, those are great little things. I've actually been thinking about finding a knitting pattern that's similar to those kinds of bags. I know that I have seen a couple on Ravelry. I just need to do a little bit of digging, so that's what I'm gonna do. My next whip I have made significant progress on. So this is the Wilderness Sweater by Linka Neumann. I am not making this for myself. This is for my kiddo. Do I have it on? What's going on here? Yeah, it's on stoppers. I literally reached the point of starting the color work and then I stopped. But I had good reason. It's not that I don't want to do the color work. I do enjoy doing the color work. But another project came up. But yes, last time you saw this, I had just started on the second sleeve, I believe. But now she has 2 sleeves and the body has been joined, and I'm working on the first row of color work. Literally the first row. And then I got distracted. I'm like a crow. I get distracted by shiny things. Something new, something different. So yes, this, back to this. I keep getting distracted. This is by Linka Neumann. It's a great pattern. Normally there's supposed to be color work down at the bottom here as well as on the sleeves, but I don't think I ordered enough of the black and the cream to do that, so I made that modification and just made the bottoms just basic gray. And then here are the 3 colors that I am going to be working with. It's a lot. So those are the 3 colors I'm going to be working with. It is Natur Oud. I just got it off of Hobie. It's really nice. It's unspun yarn. Here, let me grab a strand. See? It's unspun, 100% wool, 100 grams, it's 100 meters. Very basic, but yeah. I should have enough. We'll see. If not, we are so far into our winter that we are getting close to spring, so I don't know how much wear my kid would get out of it anyways in this season. So yes, that is that sweater. Next is what distracted me. So my knitting group that I'm in, I'll grab my drink. In my knitting group, we are not just knitters. We also have some quilters, weavers, dyers, spinners, felters, jacks of all trade. We are a cool bunch of ladies. So yeah, one of them, who is not so much of a knitter, she does know how to knit. She expressed an interest on maybe developing those skills a little bit more, and she had come forward with a pattern that she liked the look of. It was by Ozetta, and they were looking at doing the Lakes pullover, which is really, really nice. And in our group chat, it kind of came up. It was like, well, what if we did a cowl? What if we all did a Ozetta sweater and just did a cowl? So that's what we did. Everybody picked a pattern. Everybody picked the Lakes pattern except for me. I picked something different. I really do like the look of the Lakes sweater. I think it's more of a winter sweater look for myself. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous for all the other ladies there, but when I saw the port sweater, ooh, my heart melted. I loved, there's like this gorgeous shoulder detail with ribbing that goes down here and all the way down the side. It has a really nice, like, wide ribbed turtleneck, and it just looks like really nice, and has a really nice drape and flow to it. So that's the one that I decided to do. So the yarn, which is actually one of my acquisitions this week, I bought 6 skeins of this, and it's by Estelle Yarns, and it's the Eco Harmony worsted. So it's 55% organic wool and 45% organic cotton. This, you get 233 meters for the 100 grams. That works out to be 254 yards, but it tends to usually be more anyways. But I really liked this for the fact that it's a cotton wool blend, so I'll be able to wear it year round, including spring and summer. I do run cold. I'm always cold. I have an autoimmune disease that makes it that way. So yes, I would wear it year round, and I'm very excited for it. I also like the gray color because I wanted something a bit more neutral. I tend to do things in bright pops of color, so I wanted something a bit more neutral, something I could wear to the office. Or if I want to wear it and I still want something colorful, maybe I'll wear some funky leggings or something with it. That's what I was saying. So yes, here it is caked up. Yep. I did a swatch on it, and I'm using 5.5 millimeter needles. The needles I use are actually the Linka set, Lykke, and they are the copper ones. I absolutely love them. I think they're great, great needles. So this is how far I have gotten. So we all went to one friend's house last night, and we all cast on at the same time, 6 p.m. So this is what I have gotten done since 6 p.m. yesterday. So here are my nails. So this is where I'm working at. So you start up at the top here. So this is the back. So this will be the top of the back of my neck, and then going down the shoulders. This used a lot of German short rows. Here you can start to see that ribbing detail that I was mentioning. I'm not going to get into the details on this pattern because it is a paid for pattern. I think it was about $9 Canadian for it after you do the conversion. So I don't want to spoil anything. If you want to know the details, you'll have to go and buy it for yourself. But yes, I'm really enjoying it. The way that it's written out is excellent. The video support that is provided on the document is like chef's kiss. It is great. They are actual clickable links that lead to her, and she has a great way of showing things. I also do enjoy the Stephen West tutorials, so if you don't enjoy her instruction on how to do a double stitch or a short row, German short row, look up Stephen West's. Or if you don't like his, there's so many other ones out there. A short row is a short row is a short row. So just find the one that works for you, that you actually like, it clicks with you, and you can visually and like with your muscle memory you can actually understand, that would be my recommendation to you. You don't always have to stick with the video of the original pattern maker. So yes, that's how far I made it. This stitch marker was, so I got this far at the cast-on party, and then this is how much I've done since then. So I got home, I stayed up way too late. I should have gone to bed, but I didn't. And then I got up and I watched a movie this morning and I continued to knit because this has taken my attention and I love it. So yeah, that is, I believe, the last of my whips. Yes, it is. So let's just talk about a couple of acquisitions. I don't have a lot. There was definitely that Eco Harmony yarn by Estelle that I bought. I got the 6 skeins that I talked about. And then there's this. My husband actually ordered this for me. See, it has my logo. Mardeana Knits. And then on the other side has my other one. And he ordered it in the nice pretty pink color on the inside. And then pink on the handle. I can't remember what website he ordered it from, but it was just off of one of those websites where you can put any image on a product. Or yeah, so he ordered that for me and I just thought it was the cutest. I know that he's watching this, so love you, babe. Happy Valentine's Day. So that was one of my acquisitions. Another acquisition that I have that I just recently picked up is a project for my kiddo. They actually asked me to make them another stuffed animal and they want a fox. The pattern that I'm going to be doing is, what is it? The Cube Foxy Fox by Crafty Bunny Bee, and it's a free pattern. I haven't actually read through it or anything, but I've done a lot of these types of patterns before. I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to I'll be pretty problem free. Otherwise I can like fudge my way through it because I started out as a crocheter first, so I'll be fine. I have that confidence. It's gonna work out. You can just go to her website, so craftybunnybun.com will get you to all of her patterns. I saw a whole bunch, all different kinds of animals. So if you're wanting to do a stuffed animal for someone in your life or yourself, I would definitely recommend them. So these two I bought for the fox. I feel like I'm going to be able to make a dozen foxes, but whatever. This one I was able to purchase at Michael's. Easy peasy. Cost me like $7 for this whole ball, $7, $8, something like that. That was easy because I already still had black left over from a previous project, and you need the tiniest bit of black for this one. So yes, but then the orange, the ball band's missing because my kid ripped it off, you know. So this you cannot find in stores. It was absolutely impossible. I found it on Amazon. I got distracted. I didn't order it that day. When I went back the next day, it was sold out. So I had to add it to like a wish list. And then when it finally came in, this sucker was like $20. So more than double what this was. So if you're able to find the colors that you need in a big box store, do it, because when it comes to chenille yarn, Amazon knows that a lot of people are making stuffies. So I bought this out of sheer desperation, and my kid keeps saying, "Where's my fox? Where's my fox?" Well, your fox will be coming. I now have all the yarn, and since it's so chunky, it's going to be so quick to make. I have lots of polyfill like right behind me, left over from previous projects. So that's not a concern. I know that there was a shortage at one point of polyfill. So I'm glad that I have a lot of that. Other than that, oh no, I do have one more acquisition. For my port sweater. This is just to kind of get into one of the tools that I like to use. I already had, so this will be for the sleeves, so I'm not going to need it right away, but I was at the yarn store already. I actually went to the Fiber Nook in Edmonton. I made my way into the city. I met up with one of my friends there. She also just wanted to look at yarn and stuff for her Ozetta sweater. And so I like to use these. They're by Chow Goo. and they're the twist red lace interchangeables. So this is the size large, and when it's referring to large on these, it's not talking about the cable itself. This is a standard 18-inch or 20-centimeter cable. What they're talking about with large is the join. I'll take it right out of the bag. Because I remember when I first started knitting, I didn't understand. I was like, what do you mean a large or a small cable? I don't understand. So it comes with a little pin. I don't know about you guys, but I hate these. And what large refers to is this piece right here. Okay. There's also small and there's medium, and it so that the size of the needle has a more smooth transition from needle to cable. If they were all on small, like that would be a really big change. So I had to get the tips. So this I already had at home. I had to get the 5.5 millimeter because that's what I'm working on. Lace twist tips. And just to quickly show you how these work. On the join, there's like a little teeny tiny hole, and you just put that pin right through. Put the pin through, and then you take this end is male, this end is female, and you just put it in, and then you can do that. So actually I was going to say that they should do something, but did they do it? No, they didn't. I don't know what those divots are for. There's like these tiny, on the actual needle, like these little spots, but it's not a hole. I was going to say, dear needle makers, you all put one little teeny tiny hole for you to put the pin in just in the join. Why? Can you also put it in the needle, like down below, like where those random little divots are that I just saw? Because then I could put a second pin in there and then I could crank it. I could get some torque going, you know? So if you happen to work for CHAOGU or Linka or any of these big brand needle, like interchangeable needle makers, I have spoken to many other knitters and they feel the same way. You can buy these little rubber grippy things, or you can even cut up like rubber gloves for washing dishes. And then you can like put that on here and use that to grab it so you can like really twist it. But if there was a second hole there and I could just put a second pin in there and get that torque, that would be amazing. So there's my $1 million idea for all you needle makers. Go ahead and steal it if you wish. I really don't care, because if I had the possibility of buying a needle set one day where I can do that, you could take my money. Okay, so go ahead, steal that idea, CHAOGU. Steal it, Linka. I don't care. Just make your needles better. Because I love CHAOGU red lace. The actual red part is incomparable to any other brand. The needles that I use for the actual bodies and everything, like I was showing before, are the Linka ones. They're made out of copper and I do enjoy them. However, the cable on them, they're the clear cable, they're not quite as nice as the red lace, but when you're doing garments, that's totally fine. Or even a shawl, that's totally fine. But when it comes to sock making, I use the 9-inch fixed circulars by CHAOGU, and they are my favorite. And I know the majority of people that I know of that do magic loop, they like CHAOGU as well. Because that cable is just so bendy and pliable, and it's just like, it's excellent to work with. So yeah, that is all of my acquisitions, all of my finished objects and my whips. So next, it's just going to be kind of a little bit of life talk. I don't have a lot to talk about. The Mardeana household has been a little bit quiet. I'll get my drink. We've been just kind of keeping it really, really casual at home. My evenings have been filled with a lot of knitting, helping our kid with homework, and I've been definitely getting a lot more social with my knitting group, going out every Tuesday with them, which is like my favorite thing. But I have been watching a lot of TV. It got cold here again. We had another cold snap. It was down towards, it wasn't as bad as the last cold snap. It was around -20. But the real feel, like once you account for wind. It was more closer to like minus 28, minus 30. I do not handle cold well. I absolutely hate the cold. So I just kind of like, I hunker down when it gets like that, and I'm under all the blankets, and I just like to drink warm drinks like my apple cider, and I like to just, because I know that when it warms up, I'm just going to be go, go, go. So that's what I did. And what did I watch? So my kid and I, they asked me if they could watch Wednesday. I went ahead, because they are 11 years old. I went ahead and I watched the first few episodes on my own. My husband didn't really have any interest in watching it, so I just kind of did that while he was doing his own thing, like playing video games or whatever. And I really enjoyed it. It is a little bit dark. However, I think that every parent can be the own gauge of what their child should be exposed to media-wise. And I felt that, you know, it wasn't too far out there for them. And I'm glad that we watched it together. We had a lot of fun watching it together. I'm not going to make any spoilers. I hate it when people spoil things for me, so I'm not going to do that for you guys. But it was an excellent show. It touched on a lot of really nice, heartwarming things like family, friends, a little bit of like high school romance type thing. There's definitely a mystery. And the end, there's a twist, and it's a great twist. The acting, the casting on it was so good. The actress who plays Morticia, or the two actresses, because there's the one that played Morticia like present, and then Morticia as like a high schooler. They're both so good. And even Gomez, even the guy who acted as it, like the hand, so good. I saw some photos of him and how they kind of got him to work around certain sets, and it looked really interesting. So even the actress who plays Wednesday, my kid kind of got into learning more about behind the scenes and just seeing how much work that actress had to put into overseas to get this done, like waking up at crazy hours to be on set doing hair and makeup, and then to be acting all day long, late into the night. It was a lot, and I think just having those conversations with my kids saying, look, like, this is someone young who has a dream to be an actress and got this amazing role, and they are just busting their butts to make it happen. So I thought that was a really good teachable kind of moment. What else did we watch? I kind of wrote down a couple. I'm doing a couple of rewatches of things. I am a creature of comfort like that. I will watch the same movie over and over. I'll watch shows over and over, like Friends, Gilmore Girls, The Office, The Good Place, Ugly Betty. I have a whole bunch that I have watched multiple times through, and I'll probably watch them all again. We are rewatching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you know, with Sarah Michelle Gellar, and that is always lots of fun. We're at the point right now where Glory is back. I know I just said I hate it when people do spoilers, but if you've never seen Buffy and you don't know who Glory is, like, it was over 20 years ago, so I don't feel so bad. But yes, we're at the point with Glory, which is, it's a fun season. I really do enjoy this season. I love Willow and Tara together. Like, I just love it. And Anya, she's hilarious. She gets me every time. So I'm rewatching that with him. And then on my own, I have been rewatching Criminal Minds on Disney+. I pretty much watched all of them, like, when it was on cable forever ago. And then I saw/heard that it was basically being brought back with not all the cast members, like the original ones, but a lot of them. So I just started rewatching them all. So I have not seen any of the new episodes. I am that kind of person that will go back and watch an entire library of something, and then catch up on what's recent. I'm weird that way. I do the same thing with, like, podcasters. So, like, We Share Needles. I discovered them only, like, a few months ago, but over the course of since then, I've watched, like, every single episode. because it's just my personality type. I like to see things progress from beginning to end. I don't want to start at current and then be like, what are they talking about? When did this get started? Or if there's some kind of like an inside joke going on, like I don't want to feel lost on that. And the power of YouTube makes it possible that I can do that. I can go and catch up on all my favorite podcasters from basically day one, which is my favorite thing to do. So yes. And then, just this morning, while I was knitting on my Ozetta port sweater, I watched Shotgun Wedding, which is the new one with Jennifer Lopez on Amazon Prime. It was hilarious. It was really good. Even my husband, I caught him at certain points, like kind of watching with me. I think that because he has definitely seen me watch a lot of JLo movies in the past. You know, Made in Manhattan, Second Act. That's a great one. If you haven't seen Second Act and you want like a silly laugh, that one's good for it. What other ones? Wedding Planner, Monster-in-Law. Like, I've watched so many of JLo movies. They're just really light. They're funny, they're silly, they're cheesy, they're great. And this one was right along that vein, but then it also had quite a bit of action to it. The other actors and actresses that were in it were excellent. And I would highly recommend it. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. This one also had a twist at the end that I didn't see coming, but I thoroughly enjoyed. So yes, if you haven't watched that one, or it's on your watch list and you're like, I don't know, go for it. Hit play. I liked it. Other than that, I've just been working on socializing with friends, family, all that. On last Tuesday, I went with my knit group, but everybody canceled except for one. So it's just me and one other knitter. We went to this really gorgeous cafe in Edmonton. So once again, had to go to the city. And it was so pretty. It was called Brew and Bloom. They do have lots of like coffees and teas and stuff, but then they also have like cocktails, and then they have a full menu, and they have desserts. And so maybe I'll get my husband to put up a photo, but of what we ordered. I got a London fog, and it had lavender in it, and then a slice of chocolate cake, and it was delicious. And then my friend ordered a cocktail that had this like fancy purple gin in it, and you can kind of see it in the corner of the photo there. It literally came in a cage, like this gold cage, and it had like flowers all over it, and we were just like, whoa. But it was gorgeous. And while we were sipping our drinks and eating our cakes, because she also got cake, we were knitting each on a pair of socks. And the waitress, when she came by just to, check on, how are you doing? How do things taste? She says, what are you guys doing? And we're both like, oh, we're knitting. We're making socks. Seriously? That is like so cool. And like just the look of shock on her face. She's like, oh. Like, I thought it was adorable and just like so cute. And my friend thought the same thing. So yeah, if you ever see somebody doing a craft and you just want to know about it, go ask that person, because I guarantee you, us crafters, we want to talk about the things that we are making. So that's what I did on Tuesday. And then, like I said, yesterday I met up with basically all the knitters at one other knitter's house. And we had our cast-on party. We all brought junk food. I brought like tzatziki with also a spinach dip and some tortillas. And then I also got those Oreos that are wrapped in fudge. They're so good. But one of the fellow knitters, she brought macarons from the Duchess Bake Shop, which a few years ago, pre-COVID, it got voted as one of the top bakeries like in the world. And it's rightfully so. Like, oh, they were just so delicious, so airy, so sweet, so good. So yeah, we did that last night, and it was a blast. The girl that we went to her house, she actually put the pattern that, because they were all doing the lake pullover, she put that pattern like up on the TV. And so they were all able to work off of that. I had to work off of my phone, but that's totally fine. The night before, I had gone through the pattern and highlighted for my size all of those sections, because I use Knit Companion to follow all of my patterns. I believe it costs $12 for the year for a subscription. There is a free version, but I like the subscription. And so I went through and I highlighted, because I'm doing the 5th size, which is an extra large, because that'll give me the amount of positive V's that I'm looking for. So I was just able to work off of my phone really easy, just had it right there in front of me. And yeah, that's what I did. Other than that, I really needed that knit night, or that cast-on party. I also really needed that knit night on Tuesday. I know that I'm not the only one, because when I got together with my friend to go to the Fiber Nook to grab my yarn for my port sweater, I picked up my friend, and she also works from home, and we both just looked at each other, and because we had both just gotten off of work at the same time, and we were just like, and by the end, I was just so stressed out. My back hurt, I had a headache, I was cranky, like, it was not good. And then when I picked up my friend on Friday, I guess she had a very similar week, and we were like, was there a full moon? So did you also have a rough week the week before Valentine's Day 2023? Like, was this a universal thing? Was this a Canada thing? An Alberta thing? I don't know, but it was a rough week. So I'm going into this next week, because today is Sunday, with a positive outlook. It's going to be better. I'm going to handle everything one thing at a time, one email at a time, one phone call at a time. I'm going to work on being honest with my team and letting them know that I need some support here and there, or to let them know, like, do not disturb. Like, I need a couple hours of focus time just to power through some things, and I will not feel guilty doing that one bit. I actually had a performance review at work last week. Was it the week before? And everything was great. My boss is very happy with my performance. I get along really well with the team. There's plans for me to do more things with the company later on. So I'm feeling really good about the position that I'm in. It was just one of those weeks, you know? So thanks for letting me vent. Thank you for being here. I think I might wrap this up now, because I don't really have much more to say. I'm really thankful for knitting and crafting right now, because I had such a rough week. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go back upstairs, and I'm going to just relax. We might be going out to the bakery later. But that's fine. Maybe they'll have cheesecake. And it'll be delicious. So yes, thank you for joining me. I hope that if you had a rough week like I did last week, I hope that this next week coming up is better. I hope that it runs smoother. I hope that, I'm not going to say I hope you have no stress, because that doesn't exist, but whatever stress does come your way, I hope that you find a healthy way to manage it. And I hope that you have people around you that you can talk to, whether it be family, friends, coworkers, therapist, or whatever. Have someone to talk to about these things, and just know that we all have rough times, just like I just did. So yeah, thank you for joining me. This has been Mardeana Knits. My name is Kirsten, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye. I'd like to acknowledge that this episode was filmed on Treaty 6 territory, a traditional meeting grounds and gathering place to the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. I acknowledge the ancestors whose footsteps have marked these lands for millennia.